We did it. We made it.
Just at the right time.
Just at the right time.
Well, so we just got the information that the league, we went back on it. Everybody projected Naz Reid as being in.
What?
No, I'm sorry. Gobert is being in. Now he's projected out.
So, Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, not projected out. Now he's out. So it doesn't matter. It's basically, if you haven't seen anything since this morning, you're probably fine.
I don't know. I have to see. You know, I hate the NBA.
What?
I just let you know that's like the NBA. Can I tell you?
What happened? I mean, it's not that bad.
It's terrible.
I meant that specific thing wasn't that bad. What is bad is I can't seem to shake this little stomach thing that I've got going on. So
well, you just need a whole bottle of sake. That's what you need.
I'm actually trying a kombucha because of it, because it's something I'm telling.
All right, so what we're going to do, first thing we have to do is we have to upload to redo my hockey lineups. That's the most important thing. Something's got to pay for the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk NBA whenever.
So what do you do? So can I tell you how Saban Lee's going to fail or no?
There's plenty of ways he could fail.
How about the converse? First of all, did they announce him even starting or no?
No, they wouldn't have though. It's 10 p.m. game.
I thought about the converse of the 10-day contract theory. Like, if I'm coaching a team, why am I giving a guy the playing time if he's leaving tomorrow?
Because you don't have enough players.
Oh, okay.
You don't have guards. You don't have anybody who's actually a point guard.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Dwayne Washington, they tried it. It just wasn't working. They had the one game at work where, they got hot. But it's been tough for them. I do think that, look, people were talking about, you were talking about Ayton earlier. I think Ayton's a better play without Chris Paul. I am probably just going to bite the bullet and play Saban Lee. It's just really about finding the other spend up, or do you want to go more middling after that? Is basically what the
So let's talk about basketball for a minute. So what happened?
I love that you say go ahead, talk about it, and then you just take away and say don't talk about it. Okay.
No, I don't mean like DFS. I want to talk about basketball for a second because we're talking about Saban Lee. So what is Saban Lee? You know what I mean? Like, he was with the Pistons a couple of years ago, right?
Last year.
And what happened? Is he just like a failed guy that's now like on these 10-day contracts?
I don't know what you mean by that. I feel like, that literally is like 30% of the league. That's not like that's not even being conservative. Like that's really like a lot of the league. There's no thing. The Saban Lee was never a thing.
Okay.
I mean, we could say it about literally 95 guys. The same thing you could say about him tonight, except for that he's probably starting.
Except that he's starting at 3K.
Yeah, that's probably about it. And you can try to fade it if you want to, and have some different pivots. Go back to Dwayne Washington. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was some uncertainty about him, because in the last game, like if they're getting blown out, Saban Lee is going to get those minutes because you're not going to tire out anybody who's on your actual team. There's no reason to. So that's one thing. That's why he got 28 minutes in the last game. But would they just go back to starting Washington again after they were getting crushed with that system? It just looked awful. I think it makes sense for them to start him.
I'll tell you, man, I was just thinking about that conversation we had a couple weeks ago without getting into too much detail. I guess I'll share the story this way, I guess, and you can interrupt if you want me to be more specific or less specific. There's this person we know, and we're sitting here grinding, trying to figure out, if say Giannis is out, who we're gonna play for the Bucks, whether it's Nwora or whatever it is. And then another side of the world, there's this other person that's saying, oh, by the way, I know Giannis and he's going to send me a jersey because I'm the nuts. I know. It's pretty
what kind of a world is this? 100%. It's freaking nuts. Just got a message from that person yesterday, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did they tell you if he's going to be questionable for the next?
Yeah, I was like, can you have some help? Actually, who wants to say hello? Give me some inside info over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's a pretty straightforward slate. I was very into the idea of playing Anthony Edwards until I started seeing that I think he's actually going to be pretty owned. And that sort of threw me off because that was really the name of the thing is, do I want to try and go for 2 spend ups? And Edwards, who's been really good on back-to-backs, but he's still technically questionable. I think he actually is banged up for what it's worth. Like he just plays through it. But is it worth trying to spending up like for because I am going to play Embiid in my main lineup. I just like Embiid too much here. So it's the question becomes like, do you find another spend up? Because what I would love to do if you had all the value, you'd play the take a shot with Steph Curry and Jason Tatum and Giannis. But the pricing is just too close and bunched together for me not to prefer Giannis a little bit over those guys. I think it's an interesting conversation between he and Tatum. I don't think it's that close. I don't think it's that far apart at all. It's like I just prefer Giannis. And that's right, not Giannis, like Embiid. I keep moving. I prefer Embiid. So yeah, I'm very much on the same train I was on earlier with my early builds, and I like the worst position is shooting guard. So you're going to have some weird plays in there, and the ones I've sided with the most are not necessarily my favorites, but it's Marcus Smart. Then you have the Simons or Shake Milton or Anunoby. Those are like the guys I'm using at shooting guard because it's pretty ugly at shooting guard today. And I am doing what I said I was going to do initially, and that's playing TJ Warren right now in my main one.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing now?
What's that?
Same thing I always do. I'm updating projections because I didn't have the Naz Reid thing right for some reason. I still had some Gobert in there, so.
Yeah, I can save you the suspense. He's a good play.
You think so?
And if you're not playing him, play Garza.
I'm not playing Garza.
Oh, I don't think it's a bad play. You think he's going to get too much ownership? Or you just don't want to fade Naz Reid? Because I think if you did fade him, your best argument is Garza.
I agree with that. Yeah, I'll probably just play.
Just play Naz. Yeah.
Hey, as long as I got Jordan Poole, I can do whatever I want.
That's true.
Now we have to figure out if I'm actually going to play him. All my yapping.
If you play him, you can just go chalk the rest of the way and still have a unique lineup.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen that makes him a play.
No, I know what's going to happen. He's going to get 60, and then every other part of my chalk lineup is going to bust.
Exactly. That's what that makes sense.
Yeah.
It is. Man, I'll give it to you. It's a bold play. Like I mean, it's
an early game, right? So I'll nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
We got double J. I can go back to sweating the tennis. Let's see.
Your favorite NHL stack.
Exactly. That's Columbus and Anaheim, by the way.
Okay, that's what I figured. And it seems like in NHL you're always stacking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's literally no option.
I just don't play it, so I'm always interested in stuff like that.
It's like it's. I think it's more than baseball. Actually, I think it's more important than baseball.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because there's nobody that can get like solo home runs. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Like you never get like a goal without somebody getting an assist.
Right. You're probably not going to get Edwards news till after lock, by the way. Like all these anybody questionable. There's no reason for them to give it to you earlier.
Oh, what Edwards always plays.
He always plays, but it's a back-to-back, and he played 37 minutes last night.
So we'll play 37 tonight.
That's what he usually does on his back-to-backs. He plays like literally more minutes. But if the weirdest part is if Rivers is out, if Austin Rivers is out, it actually does make that game even more interesting. You might want to find like at least a third piece because Kyle Anderson and Naz Reid are the preferred guys, but Prince is questionable too. Anybody else out? Jaden McDaniels could end up playing a ton of minutes.
Yes,
and he actually is. That's actually an interesting thing. Like him and Josh Hart are both in the same price tier. I think both of them are interesting, especially like Hart. At least you get to wait, but I'm very big on having getting into this Raptors game, which means, as I said I was going to do earlier, my other spend up at the moment is Van Vliet, and what I do like is that he's not getting like crazy ownership, at least, so I can find at least some way to get different on this smallish, chalky-ish slate.
So by chalkiest slate, so Saban Lee and Naz Reid are going to be 60% plus, right? I mean, I have one ownership projection that has Naz Reid 79% and Saban Lee 70%.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a little bit less by Lee by the time it starts, but maybe not. But Naz Reid is, that's what he is. That's why your way of fading him is playing the Garza. I don't know what your point is there, Nick. I really hate when people say, why don't we have this news? We got this news. I'm like, that's just not the way this works.
Wait, what's the matter? What does he want to know?
Because Gobert news was announced that he was out, so I can't force Anthony Edwards news. Like, you're going to get if a guy who's been having a consistent groin issue, which was weird they even announced that he was possible to play today, then everybody then changed their projections so that he looked like a bad play. Anyway, the long story short is that Naz Reid is a great play, and Anthony Edwards, if he plays, is a good play, but I don't know if we can assume that he's just playing. And it's not like an easy matchup for Edwards at all by any means. Doesn't necessarily matter for him when he decides to get going, but.
All right, so I'm about to update the projections here, and after I update the projections, you know what it's going to tell me? It's going to tell me that Saban Lee and Naz Reid are good plays.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing.
100% agree with what MJC posted, by the way.
What did he say?
He said just, yeah, but Edwards is legitimately up in the air. Gobert isn't. That was
That's true. I think Gobert is, the Gobert news is much more clear.
And we could just say this happens every night with Edwards. Why don't we just know? Because every day they're going to try and test him out before the game, as you should with the
I think at this point, I mean, Edwards is almost, to me, like LeBron. Like he's just always questionable.
Yeah.
But he's always going to play. Until he's not.
Yeah. Exactly. My answer to the Van Vliet or Poole, make it clear that Sheets likes Poole, but we should all understand that is a suboptimal.
Wait. People who are actually going to be playing this guy?
Because this is what happens when you say it. They take you seriously because you win these things. And it's not that, but it's like if you're going to say Van Vliet versus Poole, regardless of what happens, the obvious correct answer is Van Vliet.
Yeah.
The question is, can Poole go nuts and get there? And by the way, even if he does, is it going to be enough enough to catch him?
This is the problem. The problem is that you're playing Poole because he's going to be 5% owned, and 10% of the time he puts up a number that smashes.
Right.
But even if he puts up that number, like this could be also that day that Van Vliet puts up the number too.
Well, yeah. Well, the Van Vliet in the last two games has put up 61 and 63. Even if Poole has the game of his life, he may not hit those numbers.
All right. So you want to do something productive, all right? So let me share my sheet. Why not? Let's share my sheet here, and I'll show you what it looks like now. I do have to build some lineups, don't I? Yeah, I'm playing FanDuel tonight. That's new.
Yeah, I think Joe and I are in on the TJ Warren play.
All right. So according to the projections. Ooh, what a surprise. Saban Lee and Naz Reid are the two best point per dollar plays on the slate. Both of them. Well, you know what is interesting, by the way, is that, both those guys are smashes. I'm getting a 6X projection out of Precious still.
Just to play.
Oh, and he's 30% too. That's no bargain.
Yeah, and he doesn't even need to match up.
Yeah.
And he hasn't put up
Josh Hart, Taurean Prince, Luke Garza, Kyle Anderson. Okay.
I'll tell you what, if anyone feels like playing Precious, do themselves a favor and just play Boucher instead. Because then at least you get low ownership. You don't have to use up a center spot, and you actually can win a slate with him. Most likely, Precious is going to project better. Those are not real. Like the range that Boucher has versus Precious is like 16 to 20. Like, and Boucher is like 3 to 70. Like, you know what I mean? I'll just take the 3 to 70 guy when the other guy's not really killing me ever.
What about
Hard.
here's another kind of play I threw out there a little earlier today. What do you think of maybe Ayton or Nurkic?
Yeah, I said Ayton is okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm not playing Nurkic.
It's a tough matchup.
And he doesn't play minutes.
And he doesn't play minutes.
Like his minutes, you know, he gets the every now and then weird game where he's in the third. He's really productive per minute. It's not much different than Joval Nurkic.
Boy, oh boy, this Precious thing is like they just begging me to just jam in the Precious. Jesus.
My Precious Achua now looks like either Luke Garza or something else.
I don't blame you.
I played him for a minute today when there was no other value, but now I don't have hardly any. I still have 14%, I guess.
Cool. Anderson, McDaniels, Embiid. Embiid's my top owned guy aside from Nas and Subby and Saban Lee.
Same.
Yeah.
Are we going to build it? I actually, and to answer the question about Wiggins, I do like Wiggins. I don't think that you have to play him at this ownership. I really don't. I am playing him at this ownership, but I have no problem if you wanted to fade Wiggins. As far as fading both Reed and Lee,
don't do it.
It's not a good idea in general, but on a 4-game slate, like if you immediately pivoted from Saban Lee to Damian Lee and then played Garza instead, like literally the exact same amount of money, just swap it, those two positions, that could work out. Like Garza and Damian Lee could outscore.
Well, I will say this. I think that Damian Lee, maybe we can debate this. I think Damian Lee's got a better chance of outscoring Saban Lee than Garza does of outscoring Nas Reed.
I think Damian Lee's projected to score more points than Saban Lee.
I just even mean on a points per dollar basis or whatever.
Oh. Point per dollar. I don't think so because that means if Garza gets 20, then what's his name would have to get 38. Whereas
maybe you're right.
You know what I mean? And he could easily get 38 to 20, but then Damian Lee would then have to get 1.5 times. So if Saban Lee scored 20, he would have.
All right, let's do something else productive. How about let's take a look at FanDuel.
Apparently my audio is bad. I plugged in my microphone and it's still not working well with the.
No, it's working. I'm just being a dick and interrupting you for no reason. That's my
No, fault. They keep saying I'm echoing.
Okay. Is it really true that Joel Embiid is 9% owned on FanDuel? That's not right?
It's possible, but it's unlikely that that's real.
Oh, because Nas Reed is at center. Okay.
But what's his price on? What's Nas Reed price on?
$5K.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Thanks, MJC. I appreciate it, man. I like Kyle Anderson to answer that question, but I also think that all of them are a little scary to me on the back-to-back in a tough matchup.
Oh, one other thing, by the way, for those of you that play golf, remember, do not, and I gave you this caution, do not get overly excited or depressed based on how you did today. Because remember, every golfer plays 3 courses, and some of them are just much harder than the others. And unless you really know which you know what I mean, what you're rooting for, you're better off just like waiting till the end of day 3 to see what's up, and then the cut will happen. Because you can think you have a really good lineup, but all your guys played on the early course and you're deluding yourself, or you can think you're dead, but you played on all the difficult course. So don't worry about it. That's my
This is the one I didn't play this year, but like this is one I remember last year. Kenny and I put a lot of thought into it, like trying to figure out because there were some weather things, and it was trying to find out the timings matching up right for each day.
Oh, cool!
So that was actually kind of fun. Like,
yeah. Oh, so yeah, we'll talk about this on the call actually. Yeah, so on FanDuel, you get any of these other Phoenix guys?
I think that
I'm
they're
getting
like
like three Phoenix guys in like most of my lineups on FanDuel.
on FanDuel, yeah, because the price is loving
Like
down a little
Cameron
bit.
Johnson.
Yeah, it's his first game back. I don't think they're going to play him much.
Oh, okay.
It's 4,500 though. It's pretty reasonable. I do, and Nick Nelson just brought up. I think Mikal Bridges is totally fine as a tournament play. I completely support it. I didn't end up getting to him because of the forward only eligibility, and I had a lot of forwards that I like, starting with Anderson, Naz Reid, and T.J. Warren. And I can't just like find a way to get to Bridges quite. So I didn't end up getting to him, but I do like him. No problem. We Zoom. He had two tabs open. Apparently, that's what was doing it. Sheets metal alloy says, "Do you set up any rules in your SaberSim like grouping?"
Good question. And it's a question I answer quite a bit. I do not. One of the allures of SaberSim is that it takes into consideration correlations between players, such that you technically should not have to build any rules at all. If you believe that the SaberSim algorithm is pure and it does what it's intended to do, you should not have to build rules at all. As a matter of fact, that's the whole thing behind SaberSim is why spend time making 50 rules when we could just do it for you based on our correlation data. Now, with that said, there are some sports and there are some things where you might have to do it. So sometimes, if you play SaberSim enough, you'll notice in the NBA that you'll get some lineups that just don't make any intuitive sense. Meaning, most specifically, and this is just because I've been doing this for a while, you'll get these lineups with like both centers in. Like you might get some lineups in DraftKings where you get both Naz Reid and Luke Garza, for example, and stuff like that, which might not seem intuitive to you. So you might want to, if you don't want to go full bore, I trust SaberSim algorithm, F what I believe, you could make groups that way. But in general, my rules for SaberSim, to answer the same question that gets answered every time, is number one, I do not make rules, especially in the NBA. And but there's a caveat to that. And I do not limit exposures to 0 or 100 or whatever. But what I will do is after the build is made, and let's give you a good example right now. So we'll look at the DraftKings build that I just made, and we'll take a look at what this is. What I will do is I will look at this thing called stack types. And what this does is it tells you what, if there are like lineups with like more than 3 or 4 guys on each team, whatever. And so I'll see that like a couple of lineups, I have like 5 guys on a team. And at this point, I'll say, I don't give an F what SaberSim wants me to do. I don't want 4 guys on one team, or I don't want 5 guys on one team. I'm just not ready to go full on, full belief, So that is one thing that I will do is I will manually, after the initial build is made, go on and deal with that. And that happens in the NFL too. So you guys have been watching these NFL videos for a while where when we go on Sunday and we go through our stuff, me, Rody, and Bobby, and when we get to defenses, I'll always say, well, I don't want to play more than 15% of a defense. And that's one manual thing that I'll do is I will go into SaberSim and limit the amount of defenses. And it has nothing to do with any data or anything like that. It's just like my instinct that 15% is a number, that I just don't want to play of. So those are the main changes I'll make on SaberSim. The other changes I'll make, honestly, is just when I just kind of, don't feel like playing somebody, and in a weird way, I think that's sort of healthy sometimes, like you don't want to fall into this thing of like just relying on projections and spreadsheets or whatever it is. I mean, it's a healthy thing to put your own opinion of the human beings into this mix. So I'll give you an example. Let's
and to the question that everyone always asks about, what do you adjust anything or do you just plug it in? Don't ever just run a simulation and then use that as all your lineups. Like, I just don't agree with that.
No, I mean, listen, you could, and I'm not telling anybody how to play, but people are asking how I play, and I'm sitting here like this. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, so here's a build I have, and I did all the stuff, I did all the due diligence, I put stuff in, and then I'm like, boy, oh boy, I don't really want to play Al Horford, for example. Okay, I will literally just X him out and be totally chilled with it. You know what I mean? Am I giving up EV? You know what? Who's to say? Who the hell knows? You know? And you'll see, by the way, my Jordan Poole build, the only reason this has 26% Jordan Poole, before you guys get all crazy, is you'll see I did put minimum exposure 25% Jordan Poole. Why? Because I felt like it. You know what I mean? And you're like, well, that's not sound. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not 21.
Making those kind of stands is what win you tournaments.
You know what I mean? It's what I want to do. So this is America. You know, I can do whatever I want. So what you can do is you can put your little takes in if you feel like it, or your X's out. You have something against Chris Middleton. You got something against, XYZ. X them out. Whatever. Who cares? Listen, as long as you're not like doing something ridiculous, like, boy, I don't like Naz Reid, so I'm Xing him out. You know what I mean? I don't want to be chalky, so I'm going to X out both Naz Reid and Saban Lee. I think that's kind of asking for trouble, But that's me. So I guess to answer your question, like that is where I'm at with respect to Saberson.
Guys, I'm fading away. I hope we get this slate going soon. I know I've got a call after this. I'm just like, I don't feel good. This is not helping as much as I was hoping. But I do think that was a really good explanation that you just ran down about all that. I do want to mention something about the bet tracking, Steve. I wanted to mention about Better Takes and Steve. Just to guys, I posted this in our Discord, and I'll talk to you guys more about it. We have a video that we've got out there, but I'm going to repost it in Discord and sort of draw your attention to it. But it's a really, really awesome bet tracking / bet analysis system, and I would love to go through it with you guys. We're going to have some contests coming up shortly, so I just want to put that little link in Discord. Check it out. Just sign up for free right now. And it's pretty cool just to track your immediate results. We will have a system in place very shortly where you'll be able to automatically upload your bets and your history of betting, which will tell you all your biases and things like that. But we'd love to go through that with anyone who's interested.
Another couple of announcements is I did the MMA DFS video. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing one of my favorite things to do, actually, is the MMA betting video, which is a totally different thing. Remember, when you play DFS, and this I talk about, whatever, when you play DFS, the overarching presumption is that Vegas lines are accurate, right? And that you're making DFS lines based on Vegas lines. But when you're betting, by definition, you are presuming that the Vegas lines are not accurate, right? Otherwise, why would you be betting? Right. So the approach to DFS to MMA betting is totally different than the approach to MMA, whatever. And you follow me on MMA betting, we could try to improve on last week where we were 0-11. So let's put it this way. I was about to say it can't get worse, but you know what? We got 15 fights this week. So who knows? It could get worse. So we'll see. But
this is why you don't look at your phone during a show.
Right.
I'm gonna have to attend what you attended last night.
Oh,
that's a shame. Family friend. It's actually that's weird. It was weird because I got it from now I see the personal messages, but I got it from a news source because it's like a family friend from forever ago. That's an old band from from way before my time, but it's really, really sad. Anyway. Bummer. Sorry, I didn't need to throw that out there. It just sort of caught me off guard.
All right, so you know what we're gonna do now? How about this? We can do. I don't know if you're leaving, whatever. I'm still chilled.
I probably should call my grandmother in a minute or two, but I'm okay for the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I want to go and build my this is like the fun part of the day is building the big buy-in, because I don't use the Saber sim to do the big buy-in. Probably should, but like I said, I don't care. But we'll go to FanDuel first, and we're gonna build the big buy-in on FanDuel. All right, so we're gonna just start right from the beginning. And you guys want us? Boy, maybe I should keep this. This looks really good. Fred VanVleet, Smart, Irving, Bridges, Johnson, Siakam, Grant, and Reed. Boy, if I can't improve on this, I'm probably going to just keep it. But let's just see. All right, let's see what we got here. FanDuel. Why don't we? I don't want to. I was about to say, why don't we start by fading Naz Reid? Let's not fade Naz Reid quite yet.
She just, by the way, everybody keeps asking about your sliders. I'm going to go for a minute. I'll be back.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let's see what it says. Do you adjust your sliders? The answer is usually no. I don't. I really trust the work that's put in for the default sliders. Sorry about that. I really trust the work that they put into the default sliders. So I usually won't screw around with it. I do on League of Legends, believe it or not. I adjust there, but not on any other sport. And the League of Legends thing, it's more of an OCD thing. I like to have the 258 thing, the 258 slider. It just works for me. I'll say, let's build this FanDuel lineup. So I guess you have to play Naz Reid, right? So we're going to start with that. Naz Reid in the center position. Very nice. Next. Let's now the point guard position. Well, it's really between VanVleet and Lillard. VanVleet looks like just such a strong play. We're going to put him in. Fred VanVleet. Is there another good point guard? You can play Kyrie. You can play Curry. Play Scotty Barnes. You can play Harden. Play Simmons. You can play Saben Lee. I guess you're probably supposed to play Saben Lee, right? So we'll put in Saben Lee at the other point guard position. I mean, it doesn't get more transparent than this. We're literally building the lineup on the spot. So first of all, where are we at? Oh, we get 71-83. All right, so let's get somebody that can actually put up some fantasy points here. Edwards at shooting guard. That looks pretty good. Let's put him in. Anthony Edwards at shooting guard. Game time decision hip. He goes nice correlation with Fred VanVleet. Makes sense to me. And we got 68.80 per player. I mean, we are humming along. More shooting guards. You can play Kyrie. What about Jaylen Brown or Harden? I don't think Bridges is the idea. We already have VanVleet. Are we going to give him another chance, Kyrie? I think Jaylen Brown at 8,300 is probably the better idea. So let's do that. Jaylen Brown, 8,300 makes sense. So now we're at small forward. Now, again, we're looking for is probably, I'd love to have a run back from Brooklyn. I have Toronto, Minnesota in good shape. I would like a run back from Golden State. The Minnesota one looks in good shape. I'll even play another Toronto guy if I have to. So let's see what we have as far as small forwards are concerned. Tatum, it's a little too expensive. Edwards, we already used. Jaylen Brown, we already used. Scotty Barnes, another Toronto. That's strong. Michael Bridges, Kyle Anderson. Scotty Barnes is interesting. So it's either Scotty Barnes or can we get away with Tatum at 11K? Can we do that? I mean, this is America. What would happen if we did that? And we could do it. No, then we have Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I don't really feel like doing that. So let's do the Scotty Barnes thing. I'll put Scotty Barnes. So now we have 5,900 a man. We have two power forwards and a small forward. So we have two Torontos that don't really negatively correlate, which is good. You have Edwards and Van Vliet. That makes sense. And you have Naz Reid. So two Minnesotas, two Torontos. We like that. Let's go back for another small forward, another power forward, and we're going to sort by point per dollar and see what we get. Siakam, we probably can't afford. Precious at 4,500. And then Horford at 52. I don't like Horford, though. Simmons, 7,400 on DraftKings. We don't really like. Precious, can we afford another Toronto guy? I think Simmons is interesting. Horford at 52 is going to be pretty low owned, I think. It says 25%, though. Precious or Horford? Well, let's see what happens because we need another small forward. We already used Edwards. Bridges, 71. Cam Johnson, 45. Play another. We can play a newbie. Josh Hart is interesting. So we're going to really stack this Toronto thing to the gills, right? By playing a newbie. Is that the story? Or Cameron Johnson, hope he gets the minutes. Let's do that. Let's play Cameron Johnson. Oh, he's Cameron Johnson. He's return to action. Probably face a minutes restriction. Okay. So if that's the case, we're probably not going to play him. And we'll probably X him out of our GPP lineups because of the minutes restriction. We'll get back to that in a minute. So if that's the case, we can go ahead and play Bridges, I suppose. Now we got two power forward positions, 5,400. Horford is works. Anderson works. Draymond works. Royce O'Neal works. McDaniels works. Torrey Craig would be interesting. Yeah, we got to get rid of the Cam Johnson with the minutes limit. Although just because they said he might have a minutes limit doesn't mean he's actually going to have one. Put in Horford. That makes sense. And we will play Royce O'Neal. And we'll put him in as well. And there you have it. Boom. Next thing I have to do is have to go back to NBA and get rid of Cam Johnson. I just can't play the minutes limit. Just not going to do it. So first we'll go back to FanDuel, see if I have any Cam Johnson. We'll just X him out. Make it nice and easy. Oh, it's 709. Really interesting. Cameron Johnson, yeah, we'll X him out. We don't want to play guys with the minutes limit. And let's just eyeball this. Oh my God, a whole bunch of Kyrie. Can he actually get there? I guess we're gonna have to find out on FanDuel. I'm not playing in my big buy, but like 98% of them in the MME, which is interesting. I'll do that from time to time. We'll check on the golf in a minute before we sign off. Boom.
I'm back here verbally, but I'm not visually.
Yo, what's up?
How's it going? What did you figured to finish up your build?
I am finishing up my builds. I did my FanDuel big buy-in live, and one thing I didn't do, I didn't want to do Cam Johnson with the minutes limit.
Yeah, I wouldn't play any Cam Johnson tonight.
Yeah, so I'm getting rid of that, and now I'm done with FanDuel. And then let me just go back to DraftKings. Let me just make sure I don't have any DraftKings Cam Johnson. Same problem. I just don't need it.
You really don't on DraftKings because all the players he's in the same price range are so much better and better plays.
I have one lineup with him, so I'll just do that manually. Actually, then I'll do my big buy-in. And so let's find Cameron Johnson. So instead of Cam Johnson at 5K, I just want to just
Josh Hart
replace him. Yeah, there you go. Dude, this is what's wrong with me. I'm like sitting here like, all right, who do I replace him with? So I have 5K left. I'm like, ooh, what about Cam Johnson? Oh yeah, that's anyway. Okay, so now let's try to see if I can do this big buy-in here. Can I have Reed and Saban Lee? I don't want to play Irving. So let's start with what's this guy doing? Enlistment out in okay, whatever. NBA. I guess I kind of want to play Embiid. And would probably want to play him in the utility. Maybe not. We're going to play Naz Reid. These are some really, really off-the-board plays here. There's Naz Reid, a power forward. Saban Lee, I presume, is point guard. And then, yeah, I guess what I can do is I could play Embiid in the utility. And then maybe something like maybe I will take a chance with the Ayton. We'll take a chance with the Ayton. And what other low-owned guys can I play? I see Curry at 7%. Is that going to happen?
See, I like that play. I think because people will play some Tatum, some Embiid, some of the Toronto guys, I just don't think he ends up too popular. 7 seems low, but I would say maybe like 10 to 12 or so.
Dude, you're right. The freaking shooting guard position specifically.
It's brutal.
Wow. I mean, you play Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nuts.
Or Jaylen Brown if you were going to play Steph. That's what I would do.
Or Jordan Poole.
Or Jordan Poole. It's why your Jordan Poole play may. I mean, it's still going to be the psychotically low owned.
It may not be like literally the worst.
It won't be like Clay will be twice as owned as Jordan Poole.
I mean, you could play all this. You could play hard.
I did build a Jordan Poole lineup just for you, Sheets.
For me.
Just so we could win all the money together.
Just so we can win it all. Yeah, more guards I need. How come there's no guards to play? Wait a minute. OG Anunoby is guard eligible?
Yeah, he's truly like the shooting guard on their team. He and Gary Trent, call either one.
Who else is a guard? Edwards is a guard, right?
Edward, yeah, but then you're giving up like a huge point of what you're doing. Yeah. Like you just had a hard time finding shooting guards. Now you're going to create the same problem again. Do you see what I'm saying?
The last time Precious
like playing 2 shooting guards to me is suboptimal.
Okay.
Do you understand? Just theory wise, like if it's so hard to find one, why are we using two?
Right.
But it doesn't mean we can't. That's just my why it would stay away.
Yeah.
I do have Anthony Simons and what's his name lineups, Smart and what's his name, Maxey.
And you can play Wiggins. You still like Wiggins at all? You talked about him earlier.
Yeah, he's in most of my lineups. It's not a very sexy play because it's a really a point thing, like
Yeah.
It's point per dollar, like just on his overall season numbers. Even take him at 32 points per game.
Who else is going to start? I mean, this Phoenix game. So Saben Lee, I presume.
Not for sure. That's why for my last piece I'm using. Well, I have Embiid, so you've got the 7 o'clock there, but I'm adding another part with the TJ Warren. So if there's anything funny that happens, I can maybe make some shifts with the three of them.
But I'll tell you this: if what's his name is really on the shit list, not the shit list. I was talking about Phoenix for a second. Why is Damian Lee not a good play?
He is a good play.
Yeah.
Who's on the shit? Nobody's on the shit list, I don't think.
Yeah, I know.
I just made a switch. So I switched Simons instead of I like it in a vacuum. I like what's his name better, Marcus Smart. But just the chance you get a different starting lineup allows me to play now I have, instead of having to wait for the Smart thing, I can, instead of having to change Embiid and Warren and everybody out, let's say Dwayne Washington starting, I could play Dwayne Washington and I could play Damian Lee instead of Saben Lee, if again, depending on starters. And then you have your one spot left where you have to try to find the what's it called, which would be a guy like Torrey Craig for 4,500 or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So again, as I mentioned, that's
a pretty good start.
Yeah. So this is the golf.
You're sixth.
Yeah. This is in the lottery.
Let's see what you got.
But like I said, I mean, I don't even know, these guys could have all had the easy.
Today was weird though, Sheets. Everybody played.
I have Dean Thompson, who's in first place with a -10.
And he's the only person.
At 2%. There you go.
He's 2%, and he's the only, he's a solo first right now. That's huge.
We'll see.
You've got Montgomery in there. You've got Rom in there, who's probably going to win.
Let's see how it goes.
It's a nice looking lineup.
Yeah. It's nice today. Could be 3 guys missing the cut tomorrow. So who knows? Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I guess we're good. You guys literally saw me build, by the way, both my FanDuel big buy-in and my DraftKings big buy-in.
Feel good on those?
So you have that going for you.
Oh, it's a 333 buy-in? What is
for
that?
What?
Oh, it's tennis.
Yeah, it's tennis.
What's happening in this?
That's the Aussie, whatever.
What was your big? Can I see your big golf one? I'm just curious what it was.
Oh, you mean like the signature hole? That one?
Yeah.
Let's see how that's doing. Yeah, this one's out of the money right now, but this is, like I said, I mean, who knows?
Oh, got a shot, right?
Who knows? Everybody's 100 under. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
We shall see. We'll see what happens. All right, so I guess again, I'll threaten to come back at 11. Listen, once again, I'm telling you, I'm in that mood. So set the YouTube notifications on to get alerted. And if you happen to be up and I happen to be up and when I feel like it, I'll throw it in there. Next week, I'm going to be probably out. I'm away for 5 days. I mean, I'll be able to put my stuff up, but I won't be, you know what I mean? I won't be a big part of the evening and stuff. So who knows? Maybe we'll get something good going tonight, or maybe with any luck, we'll get freaking Bobby with a sweat in the 555 or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah, get that going, and then maybe we'll see what happens. All right, I guess I'm gonna split.
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, guys.
Hey, first of all, 26 people at this late. I'm kind of pumped. We'll get that continue to.
Yeah, we had like 40 or something earlier.
Yeah. Oh no, Evan's got 2.778% of the PGA lottery. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah. This is. Could you show us what you do for LOL? Yeah, not now. I will though. I was going to do it today. I was going to do an LOL video today. What I did do, by the way, we have a call in 10 minutes where I'm going to go over all this. But I did like a video on DFS tennis, just kind of like overall how to play DFS tennis, and it's always kind of a struggle to think about how basic or how advanced to make it, right? I want to make it so that people that are first on the site can see, okay, I feel like playing tennis. What do I do? And I don't want to make it like for the people that know everything about tennis. This is like the subtleties. I wanted to make it kind of, I don't want to say beginner in the wrong way, but kind of like basic stuff. And I'm curious to see if people watch it, what they think of it. But I'll go over that. We have our site meeting in a few minutes. So let me go. I'll see you in a few.